Jai Gurudev, so welcome again. Today, like I said, I wish you all a blessed Nrsingadev Chaturdasi. It is a reminder of how great is a devotee of the Lord, and how, great is that mercy that He gave us, that grace that He gave us, that whenever we call upon Him, He always hears. As it is said, Kabirji said, you don't need to call for Him very loud. You don't need to make a show of what do you do, for Him. But in the sincerity of your heart, if you call for Him, He will hear it. Because He hears even if there's an anklet on a leg of an ant, If an ant leg have a bell, Bhagwan will hear it. So when a devotee calls from that sincereness of their heart, he come just like Prahlad Maharaj with sincerity. When Hiranyakashipu, his father, said, "Is the Lord into this pillar?" He said, "Yes, He is. He's in the pillar. He's inside of you. He's inside of me. He's in everything." That is the state of a devotee. A devotee perceives the Lord everywhere. That's what Bhagavan Krishna said in the Gita. Such devotee, when they call for the Lord, He responds accordingly. So this is a blessed day, where the Lord Himself has a hearing the call of His devotee. You see it in the life of saints, how He rush. He forget about everything, and He rush to the rescue of Prahlad. So, because of short time, so I'll ask Jai Gopal to ask your question.
Dear Guruji, is it enough to receive only one darshan from you? What is the difference if we receive more darshans, and what can we do to hold that blessing?
Well, I will say it is enough to have one darshan itself. If you feel that all your sins have been cleansed and you have been purified itself, and if you see that yes, that one darshan have given you that enlightenment, you see that your mind have been purified completely through one darshan, yes, then it is enough. You don't even need to come and have any darshan itself. But as long as there is a longing more inside of you, there is more to be purified, you see that yet the transformation have not yet happened, of course then there should be a continuation of things. Without having a continuation of things, nothing change. When we are doing japam, it's the same thing. When Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he said, among the prayer, among the chanting or among the meditation, I am the silent japam. Why do you think he said that? Normally japam is to chant, it's always through reciting. But here he said, I am the silent, the chanting, the silent chanting. So why do you think he said that? He said it because as long as one mind have not attained to that state of calmness, there should be always a continuation of things. And through that continuity of things, that transformation happen. So your mind get transformed into divine only when it has centered itself upon one thing. But if by having one darshan your mind is still wander around, You should have more darshan. Throughout your life you should have darshan. It is that what really cleanses you. As we are chanting, really, we are celebrating Nrsimha Chaturthi, and you see, why Lord Nrsingadev really appeared. He appeared for the call of Prahlad Maharaj. So, but Prahlad Maharaj, you see, what he represents, he represents this single pointed minded devotion. As long as one doesn't have that single pointed minded devotion, one is not in connection with the Supreme Lord. So one really need to cleanse oneself continuously to achieve to that level. There is this praise of Prahlad, in Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, verse 28 actually, which is so beautiful, because he said, the mundane people, they run after sense object, the object of their desire. They run after that, not knowing that they are falling they are falling into a dark pit full of snake. When we look at that itself, you see, how many lives one have run into that, falling into that dark pit full of snake, for many lives. So Prahlad carry on saying now that I have done the same, but that's for many lives I have been running into that direction. But by the grace of Narada, he have saved me. He have given me this confidence. He have revealed what is true joy really. What is true happiness? What is the truth of the Atma itself? So when we see the second part of that, you see that through association, through continuous being in the presence of devotee, one mind gets transformed. So here, Prahlad is saying, through the grace of Narada, Narada came to save me, otherwise I will be the same as everybody else. Then he said, how can I stop the service of such great devotee? There he is in front of Nrsingadev, but yet he's praising his Guru. This is very, very beautiful to see that connection, that what is said, in the presence of Bhagwan, one should praise one Guru. Shabari have done the same thing in the presence of Ram, praising her Guru. All the great one who have had vision of the Lord, Mirabai, when he was praising her Guru in front of Giridhari. It is through the grace of my Guru that I have you. Kabir said, what the use of, if Guru and God is standing, who shall I bow down? I bow down first to my Guru, because through the grace of Guru that I have get to know you. So through the grace of Narada, who have instructed me in my mother's womb, have freed me from that samskaras because I was born in a demonic dynasty. And I was born being the son of Hiranyakashipu. So being free, being in association with that, having the shelter of Guru Maharaj, of Narada, such a great devotee of Srimad Narayana, I am free. So you see that as long as that transformation doesn't happen inside of you, it is important to keep on having darshan, keep on doing your spiritual sadhana until you have that divine knowledge and really that realization come to you. And that will happen automatically. It's not of having one darshan and saying, how will I keep it? You can't even keep one thing that you have done in the morning, you can't keep it in the evening, yet you want to keep that which you can't hold with your physical hand, because it is spiritual. It's very difficult. That's why darshan is very important. There was one saint called, in Pandharpur, there are different kind of service which the devotee render to Vittala. Among one of this service, there is the Haridas. They offer singing to please the Lord. So among these, there were one called Panduranga Haridas. That was his name. Actually, when we were in Pandharpur last time, we visited his place, and we had that blessing to see the paduka, the shoes which Lord Vitthal himself have given to this devotee. So this devotee was worshipping Vitthala, and he was singing. So he will go 3 times a day to the temple. So each time before going to the temple, he will go to the river Chandrabhaga, which is 2 kilometers away from where he was, take a dip, then come and have darshan in the temple of Panduranga. So this was his routine, this was his daily darshan itself. So, and he was married, but he didn't have any children. So at the age of 75 years old, one day he was going to Chandrabhaga, like his daily routine, yeah. And that day it was extremely hot. So as he was walking, coming back from the river, it was so hot that he fainted. And when he fainted, Bhagwan came and helped him, took him, looked after him, and then leave his paduka, which he was wearing, there. So when Panduranga Haridas gained conscious, he was in a state of bliss and indescribable bliss inside of him. And as he was looking around, who looked after him, he saw the shoes of Vitthala there. And he was wondering, who have given me these shoes? So, as he was wondering, he said, I will not take these shoes until that person who have given me these shoes come. So this was his determination. And as he had such determination, finally Bhagwan had to come and reveal to him, that it was him who have given these shoes for him to go and come back to the temple, because it was so hot, his feet was burning. So when he saw that, he said, how can I? It is me who have to serve you, Bhagwan, and here you are serving me. You are caring for your devotee. And Bhagwan said, look, you have this paduka, and this is what you should be worshipping, the feet of the Lord himself. So seeing that, he took the paduka home, and that's what he worshipped. We had great darshan of the paduka of Vitthala when we were there, So why I was telling you this story reminds you that when you have darshan of Bhagwan, it is not enough. It's not just say, okay, I have had darshan of him, that's it, it is enough now. No. See, having darshan of Guru and God, this is what purified one life in itself. It is never enough. Because if that become enough, then pride arises inside of you again. So one fall back, Like Prahlad said, those who run, that mundane people, they run after the object of desire. Then when we look at that, you see the mind of a mundane people, because it's never satisfied. The mind which is not purified, the mind which is not cleansed, that mind will always run back. So to avoid that mind to run back, one must continuously remember the divine itself. And one must know really why one is remembering the divine. It is not just because out of fun that I am remembering him. It is not just out of fun that I go for darshan. Because darshan holds that grace itself. It is not, of course, many people come out of curiosity. Many people come, let me go and see what it is, So, let me, nowadays the darshan is online, let me see how it is really. But darshan is much more than that. It is this transformation what you go through. It's nothing to do with the outside things, It is what is happening inside of you. And if it is that transformation have happened in one darshan itself, it's fine. Then you have it. Then there is no need to come again. And as long as that transformation have not come. So have thousands or millions of darshan, it's fine.
Dear Guruji, I read in the Gita that God responds to however we approach Him, but it seems not possible for us to choose what relationship we wish to have with you. For example, if I wish to be your little brother, it does not mean that you will treat me like that. So, is it Guru, God, or the Bhakta who chooses the Baba of the relationship?
Well, you see, I will say karma choose the aspect of the relationship. If one have a certain bhav which awake inside, one will have that kind of relationship. So like I have some people who take me as their brother. It is that bhav inside of them. And some, I was talking with one Mataji was saying that inside she feels that she have that feeling that as a mother, she see herself as a mother. And she asked me, and I said, yes, of course, whatever feeling awake inside of you, that bhav must be the right one for you. But one thing is, above all the bhav, you see, in this, one have to see also that the Guru is always present. It's not that one say, okay, you are my brother, then I treat you. Because in that kind of thinking, we try to forget who is in front. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjun said the same thing, chapter 10. And after chapter 11, sorry. So, like he said, after he had the vision of Bhagwan in his fullness, his Vishwaswarupa, at that moment he realized, oops, I used to take you as my friend. I put my hand on you and we crack jokes together, But you are more than that. You are not just a friend. You are not just a guru. You are the Supreme Lord Himself. So you see, in whatever bhav awake inside, we should never forget who is in front. It may be, yes, you take me as a brother, or you take me as a son, you take me as a dearest one, or whatever the way you take. But above all these category, it should not be the material aspect. Because in that material aspect, you will try to behave the same how you behave with everybody else. And this is where very often people create offenses. They forget where there is this line. You see, I treat the people which is close to me as friend. Okay, most of the time, the devotees, most of the time I treat them like my dear friends. So like a big family we are. But one thing is that one should never forget where they stand. And this is very often I remind them, there is a fine line between the two. Because you see, the moment you start to treat one like the brother only, you forgot about the true aspect of the Guru, then the respect disappeared also. Then disrespect start to happen. So when the moment you disrespect, then you will create offenses. In place of advancing, then you will be naturally, automatically, you will feel that there is a certain things that have been lost into that. So then you have not honored that relationship, being even the brother or being the friend and being the, however the relationship it is, So you forgot the Guru part, what the Guru is here to teach me. Because you see, why I came to teach the people. I came to not only to behave in that way, because this is not one reality. This is a reality which will disappear. It is not, now it is here, tomorrow it is not here. Then what will happen? Our relationship goes beyond that, So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, chapter 4, verse 33, he said, superior is the sacrifice of knowledge than any material sacrifice. Here you have to understand that, Superior is the sacrifice of knowledge than any material sacrifice. Because in material sacrifice, you see, when let's say yagna, when we talk about yagna, very often when we talk about sacrifice, okay, I have something, I have sacrificed it. It's easy. A material sacrifice is very easy. And very often, that material sacrifice have an object of not being sincere and real into it. Here he said, greater is the sacrifice of knowledge. Because then he carried on saying, let me finish the verse, when he said, every action culminates in knowledge. So when we see that without knowledge of things, one will try to do things mechanically. When we are chanting, for example, people say, okay, yes, you are just chanting the name of God. Why you are chanting? Because lack of knowledge, you are just seeing that you are chanting. But the chanting of the name, you have to have the deepest knowledge that there is no difference between the divine and his name itself. And that name is transforming something. Here, knowledge that's why education and has education in spirituality is very important. That's why everywhere all the gurus have given knowledge to the people, so that transformation of that mindset itself doesn't run only toward the outside. Because into the outside you will face the wall of limitation. I see people, when we look at, for example, when sacrifice of the material things, you see people go, in temples in India or anywhere else, you will see everything is full. People go to the temple, bringing their offerings, but in their heart there is nothing. There is no love in their heart for the divine. Of course they say, yes, we believe in you, because as long as you give me what I'm asking you, I still love you. But the moment you stop giving me what I'm asking you, that relationship will change. The same thing, you see the Guru, yes, say, okay, I love you as a brother, I love you like a friend. As long as that there is this joy of entertaining each another into that, it's fine. But the moment the guru appeared, you don't want to see. Then where is the brother? Where is the friend? That's why it is very important. Knowledge is important where it teaches you that, yes, I can have this relationship as a brother or as a friend, but beyond that, the guru is there also to guide me. Because it's not only about that. So, in this context, you see, you have to understand the deeper meaning of things, not just do things mechanically, see only the outside things which is there. Because from the guru point of view, the guru knows, the deeper meaning, why he associate with who he is associating. He have a job to do. He have to transform that person. He have to cleanse that person. And that person need a certain attention. And if that person doesn't realize that, of course that person will just move on with it. It's like, you see, you're having a big party, okay? Somebody come to you, and bring a gift to you. And of course, you have had many gifts, and you take that gift from that person, and that gift is wrapped not in a nice way, and of course your whole mood of that will change. You will have not any interest into that. But then the person tells you, open the gift and look at it. And then you open the gift, you see that inside there's a big diamond or a bunch of 1,000 euros note. I don't even know whether it exists or not, but okay. So your whole way of how you see that gift change. Then you will start to like it more, You start to love it. That become your dearest one, because you have that knowledge of what it is inside, not on the outside, but the deepest things, what it holds inside it. So like that also, you see, when you have the deeper knowledge about this relationship, knows really what the guru is doing for you, for humanity, because you see what the guru does, it is unknown to the mind of human, and because what the guru does, for some people it can be crazy, because they can't understand it. It's a challenge of the mind, a transformation of the mind itself. But are they willing to transform the mind, or they want to resist it? So this is very important that it is clear. This is where the deeper knowledge is important. That's why Lord Krishna said, knowledge, sacrifice of knowledge, the sacrifice knowledge is more important than anything which is outside sacrifice. Because outside sacrifice is very easy. We can just say people do yagna, people do japam, people go for pilgrimage, all this. But these are all mechanical things. There's no inner transformation. But inner transformation happens when you have the knowledge. Why are you going to this pilgrimages? Why? For what the deeper reason? What is the association to you? What is the transformation that going to this place bring to you? Not just go there and have darshan of Bhagwan and then finish. No. Because you see, you have to have that deeper knowledge and deeper understanding. While you go for pilgrimage, the divine is not, even in a second, he look at you, it's enough. You've been in his presence, it's enough. So, whatever be the relationship from your heart, enjoy that relationship, but knows the deeper meaning of that relationship. And when you have that deeper meaning of that relationship, then you will cherish even that brotherhood, even that friendship, that you have with the Guru as something great. You will not just take it for granted, because otherwise you will take it for granted. You will take it, okay, this is one like my other friends, And this is where the relationship is finished. To avoid such misconception, to avoid such misunderstanding, it's very important never to forget. But even if you take the Guru as brother, even if you take the Guru as God, even if you take the Guru as friends or beloved or whatever, there should never be the crossing of the line. Once you cross the line, then you will be the one which will lose. So enjoy that relationship with the full knowledge that the Guru is teaching you something deeper. Not for himself, but for you. Because the life of the Guru is not about his life for him, but it is whatever he does for his devotee, for his people, so that they can transcend their mind, and transform that mind into divine, which is beyond any limitation which normally they put to themselves. So,
Dear Guruji, I am new on the spiritual path and I am listening to the satsangs and I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita. I need your help as I lack the pure love that I am meant to feel. It scares me as I do not want to be fake and I want to embrace this wholeheartedly. How can I overcome this worry that I'm not feeling anything?
Yes, look, as you said, you are new on the spiritual path, and it takes time to, when we are talking about love, we are talking about this bliss. It will not just happen from one moment to the other. You see, sometimes people have to go throughout lives to attain to that. So if Bhagwan have called you on this path, that means that it is there inside of you. But the way you are looking at it from your mind point of view, because from the mind it said, okay, I must feel that love. Why I'm not feeling it? But have you ever given your best into that? So just be patient and keep digging inside. Keep feeding your mind with the right things, That feeling will awake by itself. It's not about you making it feel, because if you said, yes, I will start feeling now like this, it will be fake. So just let your mind rotate the beats of your mind, with the divine name, like that Kabirji said, Stop rotating the beat outside, but rotate the beat of your mind. This is so beautifully when, without having the true understanding of things, you will just say, yes, he's talking about that. Why I don't feel it? There's many people who goes on the spiritual path for, like I was saying yesterday, for years and years, they want to feel something, but yet they don't feel it. They don't feel that bliss because they follow the master. The master said, yes, you must feel the bliss by practicing a certain practice. But yet I practice it for 1 year, I don't feel anything. I've practiced it 2 years, I don't feel anything. I don't see any different. Yeah. But sometimes you need to practice it whole life for once to get that glimpse of bliss itself. And once you attain that blissful state, it never leaves you. Even next lives, if you have to take, that blissful state will stay always with you. Because you have not attained it through other lives. That's why you have come again. Because if you would have attained to that blissful state, you would not be here. It is so simple. So because you have not attained to that blissful state, you're still searching for it. And you are impatient about it because you hear the beautiful words, and you want to feel it straight away. It's this very human, and I want something and I want it right now. I don't want to do anything. I want it right now because I'm too perfect, I'm too good, I'm feeling, and it seems that it's like Mr. Trump is talking. So just knows one thing, you are not as perfect as Mr. Trump is, but keep doing your sadhana, but above all, educate yourself. Have that spiritual knowledge. Bath in that spiritual knowledge and let your mind be transformed. When your mind has transformed, when that transformation starts happening, automatically, that which is deep inside of you, the Lord which is seated inside of your heart, will jump out from your heart. And when it jump out, your heart will burst with that endless flow of love. So stop comparing yourself and stop thinking that no, you just be patient. That's it. That's what I will say to you.
Dear Guruji, why are Jagannath, Subhadra and Balaram presented with such big round eyes? Is it true that inside of the Murti of Jagannath there is the body of Lord Krishna himself hidden by the Brahmins?
Yes. So in your question, there's two questions. So why the eyes are big? Actually, you know the story. I will not go into the story of Jagannath Ji right now. So firstly when they were made, when Vishaksena was carving the deity, he told the king and queen not to come. But being so impatient, the king and queen rushed into the atelier. And of course, he disappeared, and the deity was left incomplete. How it is? They painted the deity because you see it was wood, so they have to give an aspect to it. So they painted the wood, and they give us this aspect of Jagannath and Subhadra and Balaram. But you see right now, with big eyes. And it is beautiful, this big eyes. I love his big eyes actually, because you see, it reminds you that God is looking at you. No matter where you are, in your consciousness, he's looking at you. And with big eyes, he's looking at you. So it's not, you can't hide anything from him. As much as you think you can hide something from him, he knows everything, and he's watching you constantly. He's on the watch 24 hours. So be careful. So that is his big eyes that remind you that he's watching you. And the second part of your question was...
is it true that Krishna's body is inside?
Yes. You see, if you know the story again, this king, Pradyumna, he was longing, for Krishna, because in his kingdom there was one deity called Nila Madhava, and when he went to have darshan of Nila Madhava went inside the earth. He could not have darshan of Nila Madhava, so he longed for Krishna, and his longing was so sincere that Krishna came in his dream and said to him, so tomorrow go, by the river, by the sea, you will see one huge log. Take this log out and carve my deity. And this log is the ashes of my body. So his body, his ashes, because when Krishna left this plane, they cremated his body, and then they pour his ashes into the sea. And these ashes have transformed into that log, which the first Jagannath deity was carved from, which I just told you right now. And of course that, it is called the heart of the Vigraha. This, from the first deity itself, whenever they change the Vigraha in the temple every 12 years, or 14 years, so whenever they change the deity, they put that part inside, first. And it is said that the person who do that, he have only 1 year to live. And one thing, I will tell you something, when in Puri, when they were telling that, it is such a privilege for these devotees, I'm telling you that all my hair are standing, it's they know that they have only 1 year to live, because they have seen that throughout centuries that everybody who have done that, they live only 1 year. After 1 year, they leave this plane, and they go to Vaikuntha and really be in eternal service to Bhagwan himself. Or you see, in Puri, these devotee, they don't even want to be in Vaikuntha to serve him. They said, for us to serve Vaikuntha is here, in Puri itself, Our Vaikuntha is serving Jagannath, And really, when they say that, each one really have that longing, say, yes, they vote, they themselves voluntarily said, yes, we want to do it. But of course, not everybody, only one person can do that. So, it is Bhagwan himself, which it is the body or the part of the first Jagannath deity, which is which according to Shastra said, it is the ash from Lord Krishna's body itself, which is installed inside. So, Jai Gurudev, may Lord Jagannath, may Nrsingadev bless all of you.